Street magic, chopped in silence. Kelly Azul on the beat. Need y'all to take a ride with me. I'm just a kid from Fall River, what I know. Riding through my city that they're gentrifying, market rate housing while there's homeless dying. And I know that they're trying cause this program's out there, but I ain't reaching out there, they ain't reaching out there. Empty storefronts, internet to blame, gotta move different if nothing is the same. Entertainment venues, bringing nightlife, transparent police, body cams that's live, I mean live stream they whole shift. Personal info can censor it. Even though when involving police it becomes public info, but that's a different topic for a different tempo. Back to my city that they're gentrifying, panhandlers on the Ave and the addicts dying, parents crying, losing kids, half my generation that are doing bids. So how are we gonna get to the youth, teach them right and wrong when not to shoot? Started young in kindergarten, mental health class, your brain's a garden. Teach them all about their feelings. The senior year, let's start the healings. Is text here to stay? Let's teach with VR, less bills that way. But what do I know? What can I say? I'm just a kid from Fall River. It's just my observations, chopped in silence. Kelly Azul on the beat. It's all nighter. All-nighter. Street magic, chopped in silence. Kelly Azul on the beat. Need y'all to take a ride with me. I'm just a kid from Fall River, what I know. Riding through my city that they're gentrifying, market rate housing while there's homeless dying. And I know that they're trying cause this program's out there, but I ain't reaching out there, they ain't reaching out there. Empty storefronts, internet to blame, gotta move different if nothing is the same. Entertainment venues, bringing nightlife, transparent police, body cams that's live, I mean live stream they whole shift. Personal info can censor it. Even though when involving police it becomes public info, but that's a different topic for a different tempo. Back to my city that they're gentrifying, panhandlers on the Ave and the addicts dying, parents crying, losing kids, half my generation that are doing bids. So how are we gonna get to the youth, teach them right and wrong when not to shoot? Started young in kindergarten, mental health class, your brain's a garden. Teach them all about their feelings. The senior year, let's start the healings. Is text here to stay? Let's teach with VR, less bills that way. But what do I know? What can I say? I'm just a kid from Fall River. It's just my observations, chopped in silence. Kelly Azul on the beat. It's all nighter. All-nighter. Street magic, chop. What up, what up, what up, everybody? It's your boy Aaron, All-Nighter. This is the Forever Experience, episode 8. Make sure you share this out to your news feed. Share this to groups, tag people in the post, tag people in the comment section. If you are an admin or a moderator of a group, share this to your group and put at everyone. It tags everyone in your group. Also, if you're a digital creator and you have your professional mode turned on, which by now we all do, put at followers in the comment section, at highlight. It's highly appreciated. We got a lot to talk about today, and everybody that knows with the Forever Experience podcast, from when I had it before to bringing it back now, start each and every episode with the weather. That way, if you ain't been outside yet today, you know how to dress for the day. Check it out. We'll talk about it.
Playing with right now are a pail and a shovel.
All right.
And some fish that they find maybe in the water.
Yeah, little crabs. Yeah. That's the best kind of toys in the summertime, right? Yeah, we're looking at great weather to do that for today. Maybe heading down by the shore, finding a little tide pool and playing around a little bit. Looks good for today. Sunny skies at the moment over Providence and over Lincoln. Just a few thin wispy clouds. 66 degrees in Lincoln, 67 in Providence. Westerly, you're at 67 over in the southeastern Mass. Everywhere now, including on the Cape. You're in the 60s. Gorgeous weather expected for today. Showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow. Some of them could be on the strong side. We're watching that. Right now, next weekend is looking very, very good. Let's talk about the tropics. We've got tropical depression number 2. Not looking terribly organized this morning. You can see it kind of working its way just south of the Florida Panhandle. It's got winds of 35 miles an hour. It could potentially become Bertha today, and it'll be working its way right along the Gulf Coast as we go through the next several days. We'll keep our eye on it. We're not looking at a hurricane, but certainly could become a tropical storm. And if it is a tropical storm, it would be named Bertha. That's next on the list. Then Cristobal, Dolly, Edward, Faye, and Gonzalo. All on the list of names this year. Satellite radar picture showing nothing out there right now. Is really quiet. High pressure is in control. Slide off to our south today. We're looking at sunshine throughout the afternoon into the evening. It gets a little bit stickier tonight, a little muggier. We're looking at some clouds arriving overnight as well. I think we're dry though into Tuesday morning. Now in the afternoon, we are looking at some showers and thunderstorms around as a warm front lifts through the area. Really gonna have to watch these closely. Number one, could produce some flooding rains tomorrow. Number two, possibility for some strong wind gusts with these storms as they work their way through the area late in the afternoon and during the hours. Now, as we go into Wednesday, that warm front lifts to our north. It gets really humid here in southern New England, and we could find a couple more showers, maybe a couple thunderstorms working through the area. Probably not as widespread, though. And then on Thursday, that front's gone. We're looking at less humid air to work in. All right, today we're looking at sunshine, temperatures around 83 degrees, low humidity, just a beautiful day with light winds. Out on the beaches, mainly sunny, safe sun time today, about 20 minutes. The surf 3 to 4 feet. There's a moderate risk of rip currents at area beaches today. High tides at around 1:30. Out on the bay, winds turning more southwesterly, 5 to 10 knots. Visibility is fine all day long. Waves within the bay 1 to 2 feet. Now for tonight, clear in the evening, some clouds arriving late, overnight low 64. It will get more humid late in the night. And then for tomorrow, more humid, chance for those showers and potentially strong thunderstorms during the afternoon, probably late afternoon and during the evening. Temperatures tomorrow right around 80. There's that 7-day for you. And we are looking at that chance for showers and storms late tomorrow, scattered showers Wednesday. Thursday's dry. Looks like we're in store for a nice weekend next weekend, mid-80s with sunshine. Full forecast, you can get it at WPRI.com.
All right, so tomorrow, Wednesday, some rain, but it's not going to be hotter than 85 all week. And besides tomorrow's rain and Wednesday, it's going to be beautiful outside. So make sure you get outside, get some sun in your life, and enjoy the summer. Now, we got to get into this. People, be careful while you're driving out there. There are other people on the roadway and on the sidewalks. There's people walking. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
A woman has been seriously hurt after she and her dog were hit by a car on Brayton Avenue. This happening in Fall River. Police say the woman was taken to the hospital with critical injuries. Her dog, however, sadly died. No word on any arrests. The crash is currently under investigation by the Major Crimes Division now.
Interesting why it's Major Crimes Division. Now, it's unfortunate for the person, the woman who's critically injured, and it's sad to hear about her dog passing. You know, as many people consider pets part of the family. Everybody, you got to be careful, more alert, more aware out there on these streets. Please be careful. Check this out. We'll talk about it. Former Fall River nurse killed in bicycle collision, loved staying active. Services have been announced for a local woman killed in a collision this week. According to Bristol County DA Thomas Quinn, Dartmouth and Massachusetts State Police were dispatched to the area of 832 State Road in Dartmouth, Route 6 westbound, at just before noon on Monday after receiving a 911 call. Upon arrival, police located a dump truck pulled to the right side of the roadway. Police investigation revealed the collision had occurred between the truck and a bicyclist. The cyclist, a 74-year-old female identified as Denise Olson of Westport, Mass., was pronounced dead on the scene. The dump truck operator remained on scene and was cooperative with police. According to an obituary, Olson was born in Fall River, and prior to retirement, she worked as a registered nurse in the operating room at St.Anne's Hospital in Fall River. She was a communicant of St. George Church in Westport, where she served as a Eucharistic minister. She was an avid gardener, loved staying active, and never missed a social gathering. Denise loved being with her family, her grand and great-grandchildren, and her many friends. The funeral, to which relatives and friends are invited, will be Wednesday, July 22nd from the Potter Funeral Home, 81 Reed Road, Westport, at 9 a.m., followed by a massive Christian burial at St. George Church, Westport, at 10 a.m. Calling hours will be Tuesday from 5 to 7 p.m. Intimate will take place in Beach Grove Cemetery, Westport. In lieu of flowers, memorial donations may be made to the Pancreatic Cancer Action Committee. The investigation into this matter is active and ongoing by Mass State Police assigned to the Bristol County DA's office, along with Mass State Police and Dartmouth Police. Guys, please be safe out there. Be alert. Like I said, there's other people on the roadway. RIP to the victim. Condolences to the family. Now, we're going to get into this next video right here. This has been making its waves across social media lately. And this is a woman being charged after an assault on a nonverbal autistic disabled person. Check this out. We'll talk about it. Woman facing charges after reported assault on disabled person at Fall River Park. Fall River police have charged a woman in an incident that has garnered much attention on social media. Contacted the Fall River Police Department for an update on the incident. According to Lieutenant Matthew Mendez, the incident was investigated by the department's Patrol Bureau and has been reported to the Disabled Person Protection Commission, DPPC, for a follow-up. The investigative efforts of the Patrol Bureau have resulted in an employee of Crystal Springs being charged with assault and battery on a disabled person. The name of the suspect has not yet been released and will be revealed once arraigned. Now, here is the video right here of the assault. It's captured on video. She's in no way getting off on this one. Absolutely horrible what she's doing. She's kneeing the person in the back. Horrible. Luckily, somebody was there to get video evidence of this heinous act. And hopefully, they stepped up. There's the plate right there. We're going to get a close-up of the female. Not the clearest picture, but charged with assault on a disabled person. So that's completely unfortunate. Now, guys, before we move along, if you haven't already, please share this out to your news feed, share this to groups, tag people in the post, tag people in the comment section. And we're going to get into this. Check it out. We'll talk about it. Florida man avoids prison time after Florida, Dartmouth, Newport, Bristol County, Mass State Police Authority seized over 5.5 kilos, guns, and $28,000. All of that. Four man pled guilty Friday in Florida, Spiria after an investigation led by the State Police Narcotics Unit signed to the Bristol County DA Tom Quinn's office resulted in the seizure of more than 5.5 kilos of cocaine, 2 illegal guns, and more than $28,000 in cash. Well then, that's a lot. In late January of 2023, troopers with the Bristol Narcotics Unit, along with members of Dartmouth Police, the Bristol County Sheriff's Office, Mass State Police Gang Unit, Florida Police, Newport, Rhode Island Police, and the DEA executed 3 search warrants on Oxford Street and High Street in Fall River. During the execution of the search warrants, police arrested 60-year-old Daniel Ferrer and 73-year-old Santos Emisquita. Investigators also seized approximately 5,635 grams of suspected cocaine, a .380 Walter PPK pistol, a 9mm Luger pistol, multiple boxes of ammunition, and more than $28,090 in cash. Ferrer and Emisquita were charged with trafficking in cocaine, possession of a illegal firearm, and commission of a felony, improper storage of a firearm, unlawful possession of ammunition, and conspiracy. Court records show that on Friday, Emisquita pled guilty to possession to distribute a Class B drug with the firearm. Charges dropped. He was sentenced to 2 years probation. Ferrer's case is still going through the judicial system. Well, it sounds like Emisquita squealed a little bit. Emisquita. 2 years probation for 5.5 kilos of coke, couple guns, and $28,000. That's a very cooperating witness. Moving along. Have you had your car burglarized in Fall River? Hopefully you haven't. But if you have, you'll relate to this. Check it out. We'll talk about it. My best friend's car was broken into on Rock Street in Fall River between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. She got all her stuff stolen. Look at it. There's what the cars look like. Absolutely horrible. People, lock your doors. You are in a city. Lock your doors, please. I know sometimes you forget, but on the key fob, there's a button. You hit the button. That's all you got to do. Okay? Moving along. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
More than a century after the infamous Borden murders, Lizzie Borden's legacy is still bringing people through Fall River's doors. Today, Miss Lizzie's Coffee welcomed customers into its newest location, time to coincide with what would have been Lizzie Borden's birthday.
Where the actual coffee shop was where Lizzie Borden taught Sunday school and where she also would have broken her arms in a dumbwaiter accident about, I believe, 2 months before the murders.
Inside, nearly every detail tells part of the story, from Victorian decor to a guest book signed with handcrafted pens made from wood salvaged from the historic Borden house.
You know, the original pen came from one of the Borden houses, from a contractor that gave me the wood, and I made the pen out of it.
For many customers, the coffee is only part of the experience. They come for a chance to step into one of New England's most enduring mysteries.
I went to school coming up, elementary, and oh yeah, we heard all about it.
While historians still debate who killed Andrew and Abby Borden, one thing is clear. Lizzie Borden's story continues to inspire curiosity, bringing visitors through Fall River and helping local businesses write the next chapter.
All right, so Miss Lizzie's Coffee opened up yesterday in the old Abbey Grill on Rock Street on Lizzie Borden's birthday. Call that perfect timing. And it's a bigger location. It's a better looking location. More historical location. And I only see growth for Miss Lizzie's Cafe because Lizzie Borden is such an internationally known name that it's about time entrepreneurs in Fall River capitalize on the lure that Lizzie Borden has. I just wish we capitalized on it as much as Salem does the witch trials. I think it could be big, like real big. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a kid from Fall River. Moving along, check this out. We'll talk about it. St.Anne Shrine holding 9-day celebration in honor of Good St.Anne. Good St.Anne's Church right there. Beautiful. Look at that. St.Anne Shrine has announced a celebration that will take place over a 9-day stretch. According to Brian Boyle of the St.Anne Shrine Preservation Society, in 1872, 7 years after the end of the Civil War, Adrian de Montebrique came to Fall River to minister to the quickly growing French-Canadian immigrants who came here to work in the mills along the banks of the river. He established that year a Novena 9-day celebration with high point was the celebration of the Feast of St. Anne, patroness of Quebec, and procession of her relic through the streets of the city. 154 years later, through world wars, depressions, recessions, change in the economic fortunes of Fall River, ethnic changes, challenges, St. Anne Shrine has without fail continued this celebration every July. 2026 is no different. What began on Saturday, July 18th with a healing mass celebrated by Shrine Chaplain Father Edward Murphy, the Novena to Good St. Anne will be offered every evening July 25th with festival mass celebrated by the newly ordained Father Kik Santos on Sunday, July 26th. Each mass will be preceded by the traditional Novena prayers to St. Anne with confession available, followed by Eucharistic exposition and adoration. The feast mass on July 26th will also include the traditional procession of the first-class relic of St. Anne through the streets at the conclusion of the mass, followed by veneration of her relic. For more information, please contact the Shrine at 508-678-1510 or info@stanneshrine.org. St. Anne is waiting. Come visit her during this special week in her honor. Good old beautiful St. Anne's Church. Architectural masterpiece here in Fall River. Speaking of architect and, buildings, we got to talk about new development in the city, and we got a lot of new development. Okay? From County Street, Durfee Street, Augusta Street, another potential one on Durfee Street. There's a lot. So we're going to get to that real quick. We're going to get to the zoning board so you can hear exactly what the plans are for frontage, square footage, all of that. And that's the board you go to if you have concerns. You can do it in the Facebook comments, but that's not really going to help. Now, check this out. We'll talk about it.
Let's see, where are we? Item number 3. Owner applicant is 422 County Street LLC. This is care of Jeffrey Tallman, Northeast Engineers and Consultants, Inc. Subject property 422 County Street, lot L06. I'm sorry, map L06, lot 0098. The applicant is seeking a special permit to allow the following. Pursuant to section 86-445 of the Fall River zoning ordinance, to waive the requirement for one off-street parking space in connection with the proposed accessory dwelling unit, ADU. Petitioner proposes to convert a former storefront located at grade level on the subject property into an ADU. The subject property is located within a G general residence zoning district. Jeff.
Good evening. For the record, Jeff Allman from Northeast Engineers and Consultants here tonight on behalf of 422 County Street LLC, the petitioner for this application. So quite simply, what we're looking to do is, I do have, I'm not sure if I included this in the packet, but just so you can see what's going on here. There is an existing old storefront that does not look like it has been used for quite some time. But I do seem to remember there being something there when I was a kid. You want one of these? When I was a kid, I don't know if it was a convenience store or
Buzzy's Barber Shop.
Yeah.
Is that what? Oh, it was Buzzy's. That's okay. I knew there was something there. All right. So you have this old storefront associated with this building. Now this building was part of a subdivision that was done in 2024. It was all, I mean, you look at the shape of the lot, you had this particular dwelling, you had 430 County Street, 438, and then 436. And they were all part of one big lot, and they were all separated out at that time. When they did that particular division of land, you can see where the existing staircase is coming up to the concrete walkway on this property. There's no vehicular access whatsoever to this property. I mean, there would technically be room if, you know, on this property to get a parking spot in if need be, but just with the grades and the walkway and the stairs and everything, we just don't have that ability with the way things are constructed now. So the petitioner's been, you know, since buying the property, they've been trying to figure out what to do with this area at the lower level. So then when the ADU regulations came into effect, they thought it might be a good use of it. So what we're here tonight is basically to ask that the requirement that, you know, one parking spot be required, be waived in order to convert the old barber shop into a accessory dwelling unit.
And that would be a first, because every one of the ADUs that we've needed to approve, we've made sure they have the parking space. So we do have an unusual piece of land here, I agree. Do I think that a residential unit is probably a really good use for Buzzies? I do. I just get, I get real queasy with precedent sometimes. What says planning upon this?
I mean, our past practice has been when there's no parking on the lot, even existing. So for the 6-family, currently there is no parking, which would normally require 12 parking spaces. If there was some off-street parking to even already be providing it for the 6, then you could potentially contemplate it. But on petitions where there's absolutely zero off-street parking, even to accommodate the current use, we have not waived the need for the additional singular parking space. So now we would have 7 units with zero parking, technically needing 13 parking spaces.
Yeah, 13, because this
In a pretty tight area. And where this was, I mean, there's no hardship to this building where it sits and how it doesn't provide parking. It received a variance to sit on its own lot. So it's created the fact that this lot is this small around this building with no parking. Self-imposed. That's all.
Questions from the board, comments from the board?
From an engineering perspective, is it possible to grade and remove those stairs?
It's expensive.
It would be
Well-
crazy expensive.
I mean, it's retaining walls. I mean, other applicants have done it.
Yeah.
We had just
I mean, if
approved one
there's a
on
potential
Whipple Street.
solution.
So it is possible to provide one space, but we're talking retaining walls, grading. It would be a substantial investment to provide one parking space.
One of my engineers once said you can build anything,
Yeah.
just might not like the price. So, questions?
It would just seem to me, Mr. Chairman, that rather than leave it vacant, parking aside, it's a good use in the neighborhood.
Anyone else on the board? In the audience, anyone wishing to speak in favor of the petition? Anyone opposed to the petition? The hearing none, comes down to us.
The only other thing I would like to add too, directly across the street, there is an access, vehicular access into Lafayette Park, which is gated off. What it does provide, the residents in the area do use it for parking, and there's the ability to provide 10 parking spots in that area, maximum. And there is parking in front of this particular building as well, which obviously is probably being used by the residents and stuff like that, so.
How many of the buildings that were in the 7-lot subdivision in '04 have off-street parking? Or are they all using Lafayette Park?
No, there's actually a driveway
Yeah.
that goes up the middle
The middle one?
here, and there is parking that goes to the rear of lot 130. And I believe there's some parking in front of, I'm sure I had 2 130s. But on 430, house number 430, I believe has parking, and back in 438 also has some parking. So they are not without parking.
Right, just not the same property. Yeah, that driveway's on the other side. Okay. Hearing nothing from general public, no more questions. What is what's our motion going to be?
Again, Mr. Chairman, a special permit bifurcated.
Correct.
Yeah, yes.
One thing I'll offer that Jeff didn't offer, although this has not been a commercial use that's been in existence probably for 2 years, there could be an argument made that the offset of the commercial use space, although maybe a different time period, may offset the fact that we are now adding a residential use, but the numbers and you may have wanted to maybe reactivate the commercial use, but then even at that point, we're going to
You would
discuss.
still need
But
a
we
special
still have
permit
the
to do
discussion
that.
at that point for employees. So we'll still be looking at parking.
Got it. I'll be quiet.
But that is a very good point. That
No, it's
given the
great,
commercial
it's great
nature
point,
of
but
it
we end
and
up in the
trying to
same
help.
place.
the nature of a barber shop, people coming in and out.
The size of the place, you could easily be 2 chairs and
Mhm.
more customers, 2 employees.
You have any idea when the last time it was open? It's been a while. I don't know.
It's been a while.
It's been a very long.
Eric, you know where it is?
It's been a very
I was a
long-
kid when I was about.
Yeah, very long.
I've actually been there. Now that you say it was Buzzards,
Yeah.
I've been to Buzzards. So.
So it would be bifurcated.
Yeah.
So you can make it as one.
So then I would propose that this is not substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood, and that it be approved as requested.
Second.
Motion and second. On the motion then, Eric,
Yes.
Ricky,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
you're going to get it anyway, but I'm voting no. So,
Thank you very much.
okay, thank you.
All right, so where the old wasn't Buzzies, it was Banjo's barbershop across from Lafayette Park. That's been closed. That storefront will now be an apartment. They waived the parking. So more new development in the city. Now we're going to get to a bunch more new development. And I'm just going to run this in a row. So you're not going to see me. You're not going to hear me. And then we'll talk about it and recap it all at the end. It'll be better for the clips and the reels, all of that. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
Is Carlos Estrella and Carlos Gino Estrella, care of Attorney
This is
Peter.
yours, right?
Yes.
Attorney Peter A. Salino, 0 Augusta Street, map I-26, lot 0018. The applicant is seeking a variance to allow the following. One, pursuant to 86 attachment 1, Fall River zoning ordinance, to construct a two-family dwelling on the subject property, waiving the requirements related to lot area and lot coverage. The applicant is seeking a special permit to allow the following. One, pursuant to section 86-443 of the Fall River zoning ordinance, to waive parking aisle requirements. Property is located in A2 apartment zoning district.
Good evening. For the record, Peter Solino on behalf of multiple Estrellas, the owners of the property at 0 Augustus. The property is located off of Rodman Street. It's a narrow lot. It contains about 5,500 square feet of land. The variance requests are 2, and then the special permit requests are 1. So the variance request is that the parcel is in an A2 district that requires 6,500 square feet in order to build a two-family. The proposal here is to build a two-family. As a result, we're short on the square footage for a two-family in the A2. So variance 1 is the overall square footage of the lot. Variance 2 is the lot coverage. You'll notice on the plan that the applicant has proposed 6 off-street parking spaces, which obviously exceeds the requirement by 2. But as we just saw in the last petition, parking is at a premium in Fall River. And so the engineer, I think, thoughtfully designed this petition or this plan to include extra spaces. As a result of that, we have a lot coverage as proposed of 55.5. So the lot coverage would require variance since the district requires 30%. And then finally, the drive aisle as you drive into the property as contemplated and proposed from Augusta Street is 20.5 feet. And the travel aisle must be 22 feet. And so as a result, there's a request there for special permit to relax as opposed to waive the parking requirement by 1.5 feet. So I've pled in my papers that the petition and the hardship associated with it is obviously the existing size of the lot. I think it's a reasonable proposal for this neighborhood. It's all multifamily use surrounding it. The Estrellas are here, as well as their engineer, if anybody has any specific questions that require a technical answer. Otherwise, I'm happy to review further or answer any questions the board has.
Parking spaces 5 and 6, are those stacked?
Yes, I think you'd say that. They're parallel spots, effectively.
Which
Which
is the only way you could get 20 feet for.
Right.
Yeah.
And Attorney Salino, how short are you with square footage?
The requirement in the district is 6,500, and we're 5,055, so just under 1,000.
I'll just start with that. Within the last year, we modified the A2 zoning district from 10,000 square feet and 2,000 square feet per additional unit down to 5,000 square feet for a single family home, and the frontage requirement from 100 to 50. So all the efforts that this board took, the planning board and the city council, to allow construction on lots in this district that have 50 feet of frontage and 5,000 square feet would afford this landowner to build a single family house in accordance with your new regulations that you created. You're now being asked to go beyond that and allow a two-family house to be constructed and lot coverage waivers and parking setback waivers. So it's almost undoing the efforts of allowing people to construct on something. If you remember, part of that discussion was we keep getting all these requests for variances in the A2, and everybody agreed that the lot areas were excessive in A2 of 10,000 square feet to start. So you made that change. That apparently isn't enough for some people, where 50 feet of frontage and 5,000 square feet that allows you to build a single family house with 2 off-street parking spaces and 25% lot coverage We all thought that would be enough for people, but now we're going to start getting variance petitions to waive those more progressive requirements as well. So I would just ask you to contemplate that.
Yeah, I mean, it's another shoehorn. Other questions from the board, comments from the board at this point?
So just to be clear, Dan, if this proposal were one family, they would not be here.
They don't need to be here.
Right. Okay, 5,050, yeah, so it's 6,500 required for this. And you're just shy of 1,000 off. Yeah, I mean, we've been here before, and personally, I'm standing with the efforts that were made. I'm standing with the efforts that were made. Questions? Comments? I'm going to go to the general public. Anybody here wishing to speak in support of this application? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Okay. Was the single family contemplated?
If I could have a brief minute and speak to Mr. Estrella.
Oh, that's true, too. Right, that's right. Is that correct?
What's
They can
that?
do a single family with an ADU, by right?
Correct?
Yeah.
But the second unit will be limited to 900 square feet.
Right,
Right.
Big difference.
Yeah, so they're not gonna get a 3-bedroom.
right.
Yeah, it's, 6 bedrooms would be a 3-bedroom.
You don't design the things for them.
No,
Right, right.
saying that's BioMed, right, they can do that.
I just wanted to be clear what the matter of right was.
Yep. Just looking at your red line, blue line. Probably could have done something else.
My client's willing to let it go to vote, see what happens, and obviously then we could revert back to a single family if he has to.
Okay. I mean, there's a clear way to get 2 units here.
I understand.
Okay.
Yep.
Motion to deny?
Second.
Motion to deny, seconded. On the motion, Jim,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Ricky,
No,
Eric,
Yes.
Chairman Prairie, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That 4-1?
Hmm?
That 4-1?
4-1. 4-1 goes down. Okay. Item number 7, applicant owner Seth D. Ellie. Owners Louis Gonzalez. This is care of Jeffrey Tallman, Northeast Engineers and Consultants, Inc. Subject property 333 Durfee Street, map 011, lot 0013. The original, the applicant is requesting a variance to allow the following. 1, to convert an existing automotive repair shop into 3 family dwelling, thereby expanding the existing non-conforming 5-family dwelling to a total of 8 dwelling units. The applicant is requesting a special permit to allow the following one, relief to reduce the number of required parking spaces pursuant to section 86-444 of the zoning ordinances. The property is located in a BN neighborhood shopping zoning district. This was tabled from our June 16th, June 18th meeting. Mr. Tallman.
Good evening. For the record, Jeff Tallman, Northeast Engineers and Consultants. I did submit a request today to have that tabled until the August meeting because when we started looking at making revisions to the plan to address the board's concerns, one of the issues and items we looked at is possibly using the lower level of that building for parking, which makes a ton of sense considering it's an existing garage now, which would in turn mean that we would have to go higher with the structure, which means we would have to ask for an expansion of a pre-existing non-conforming structure, which would require additional, it would require that the petition be re-advertised. So that's why I submitted the request today. So with that, I hope the board see fit to grant continuation or no.
Okay, before we act on that, one question to the planning director. Would this require, it will have to be re-advertised?
Yes.
It does not have to be a new application. They don't have to withdraw and resubmit.
No, it'll be, we will re-notify
Okay,
and we will
re-advertise.
re-advertise.
Okay. All right, that being the case, I'll accept a motion on the request.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we grant the request to continue or to table the hearing until our August meeting.
Yes. Second.
All right, motion and second on the motion. Eric?
Yes.
Ricky?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Chairman Prairie, yes. On to item number.
And I'm sorry, what is the date of that August meeting?
20th?
20th, August 20th.
Okay. Item number 02, old business. Applicant owner is June Perry, care of Jeffrey Tallman, Northeast Engineers and Consultants, Inc. Subject property is 311 Crescent Street, map T07, lot 0001. The applicant is requesting a variance to allow the following. One, to divide the property into two lots, leaving the existing three-family dwelling on lot 1, a conforming 11,700 square foot lot with 116.45 feet of frontage on Crescent Street, and creating a new 5,480 square foot non-conforming lot for a single-family house with 50 feet of frontage on Valentine Street, with relief from frontage, use, and area requirements. Property is located in the BN neighborhood shopping zoning district. This was tabled at our June meeting. Mr. Tallman.
Good evening. For the record, Jeff Tallman, Northeast Engineers and Consultants. So in this particular application, we were kind of asked to go back and take a look to see if we could, because we were making the case that the lot itself being adjacent to the G district and with a small portion at the rear being in the G district, we were hoping to use these side setbacks for G. During the conversation, it was brought up, well, to see if we could comply with all the requirements, which included lot coverage within the G district, because there is no lot coverage requirement in the neighborhood shopping district. So we did take a look at that. We did change the configuration of the house. This configuration actually is probably very close to, if this ultimately gets approved, what will be built there, if not exactly what would be built. There would be a one-stall garage, same general footprint, only with the addition of the garage. The only issue, a couple of issues that we ran into when we looked at this, in terms of the lot coverage requirement of meeting the 25%, just because of the nature of the existing structures and the retaining wall on lot 1, there is kind of that pinch point between like Valentine Street and where the house would be located, which causes this house to be pushed back a little bit further. So therefore, the driveway is probably a little bit longer than what we would like. So if we were to have to comply to the 25%, we certainly could. We could put an asphalt driveway for a certain portion until you get back close to the garage. And then what I'm showing on this particular plan is a paver walkway that transitions into the remainder of the driveway that enters the garage. So with that type of configuration, we would be able to keep the lot coverage to where it needs to be at the 25%. So if need be, this is something that we could do. If the board sees fit and is willing to give us, I mean, we didn't ask for it only because it's not required in this particular zone. If we could bump that lot coverage up a little bit, we could continue the asphalt all the way to the garage and eliminate the need for having that paver driveway, that small portion. I'm thinking if we were allowed to go up to somewhere around 28% in that range, that would cover that additional area. But if need be, if we have to meet the 25%, this plan does accomplish that. The other issue that was discussed at the previous meeting was the existing retaining wall, the stone retaining wall, which we're kind of holding the lot line adjacent to that. We were asked to take a look to see if we could move that line to the bottom of the wall. But as I started getting into that, what became apparent is the retaining wall was constructed originally to level off the parking area for 311 Crescent Street. So it's basically, it cuts into the slope that comes down on Valentine Street. And we do have these two wing walls that do project down onto lot 1. So if we were to actually move that lot line to the bottom of that wall would then be in, two different ownerships.
Two different ownerships.
Yeah, you would have the owner on lot 1 would own the wing walls, and then the owner on lot 2 would own the primary section, which to me would just make issues a little complicated. The wall's there to service lot 1. It's basically for the purpose of lot 1. So the more I looked at it, the more it made sense to me to keep it on lot 1 and have it be their responsibility to maintain it. It is in good shape. It's in very good shape. It was well constructed when it was built. I don't anticipate there being, with the construction on lot 2, any particular issues. I mean, we are proposing to eliminate the stairs that do go up onto lot 2 and to close off that wall, that little opening that's there to go up those stairs, repurpose some of that stone for the wing walls on the stairs to close that off and just call it a day and leave that wall on lot 1. Again, it made a ton of sense to me, but that's your call. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
No, I think that's sound reasoning. I appreciate the change.
Mr.
On this
Chairman,
design. Yes.
a question. On the suggestion of potentially changing the lot coverage and adding that, it's not a listed variance, so that can't.
Doesn't need to be.
It doesn't have to be listed?
No, what happened, what Jeff was explaining is the underlying zoning district has no lot coverage issue.
Oh, okay.
At the last meeting, we asked him to try to conform to the adjacent G district, which would have a lot coverage. So relief is not required for lot coverage either way. It's just whether or not you want to approve the relief to be a G and not be all of the G, which I have no opposition to.
Questions from, any other questions from the board? I think this was very sound. If there's no questions from the board, let me, it's still wild that this is a BN district. I mean, it just cracks me up. It's virtually entirely residential. That's all right. Going to those in attendance tonight, is there anyone wishing to speak in support of this petition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? The hearing none comes back to the board.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that the variance be granted as proposed.
Second. Motion and second. I'm just trying to remember.
The only thing I would ask for a little bit of clarification would be on the whole lot coverage issue, if you don't mind a slight increase.
So
whatever you have shown on the plan is what they'll approve. I don't have the plan in front of me.
Okay.
So
it's the 25.
Did you show the increase?
No, I was showing it complying.
Well, you don't have to comply, right? So.
No, I was asked if we could fully comply to the G district, including lot coverage.
So it was a request, it wasn't a mandate?
No.
No, it was just to see if we could comply with everything.
Could you do it?
We can, and that's what I'm showing.
And
but there's like a 10 by 10 section of that driveway,
Yeah,
like
which I
100
think is
square
kind of
feet.
crazy to change materials at the last of it.
Right.
You gave it your best shot. It's not practical. It could be.
Yeah, if we could slide the house
Consider-
forward and make it work, we would. But there are like, setback issues to
No,
the shed. that
you
we-
definitely, you do have the pinch point because of the angle of the wall coming across that property and changing.
So we can get it to say
pinching the property line.
28% as opposed to 25.
But
I don't mind,
but since a variance isn't required, I don't think is that going to be an issue when the plan hits Hathaway?
No, he wanted to see it.
All right, so we do have a motion and a second, so this would not be as drawn. So the point is, they gave it a shot. What they could do to comply to the lot coverage of the adjacent G zone, they could achieve. It's probably
I would just include in your motion that the driveway shown can be entirely impervious.
There you go.
As stated.
Okay, you agree with that on the second,
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, then on the motion, Eric,
Yes.
Ricky?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Chairman Prairie, yes.
Thank you.
Great one, thank you. DNP LLC, DBA BioMed Spa. Sounds like something out of a movie. All right, come on up. Owner is Lycos Properties LLC. Subject property is 400 Rhode Island Avenue, lot E08, map E08, lot 0048. The applicant is requesting a special permit to allow the following. One, pursuant to section 86-422 of the Fall River zoning ordinance to allow tattoo services, specifically cosmetic tattooing and permanent makeup as an accessory use within an existing medical spa. Two, relief to reduce the number of required parking spaces pursuant to section 86-444 of the zoning ordinance. The property is located in a BL local zoning business district. Please identify yourself.
I'm Stephanie DeMello.
Okay.
So I own a medical spa and we are requesting to be able to add microblading services to our medical spa. It is technically regulated under tattooing. However, from a business standpoint, it is a very different procedure from tattooing. It is to make your eyebrows look better. It's something that we do by appointment only in a private treatment room, and it's not going to change how we operate our business as it stands today. And as far as parking, we are 400 Rhode Island Avenue, but we are located within 390 Rhode Island Avenue, which is all owned by Lycos Properties. And they have stated multiple times that no one tenant within the entire property has any assigned parking spaces, and they can all be used freely amongst everyone. And they have said that our clientele is allowed to use the entire parking lot. And I think that's kind of the gist of it.
So your property is a separate lot.
Yes, you have to go
You have to go in through theirs.
through theirs to get to ours. It's technically a separate lot, yeah.
So were they to sell this off in the future, or were they to sell the back and not sell this, there would have to be an easement to get to this?
Correct.
Because it'd be a separate owner.
Correct.
Okay. On the lot in question, how many parking spaces are there?
I don't know the number of parking spaces in total for the 390.
Not for the
property.
390, just
Oh,
talking
11.
about 400.
11.
Okay. And what's your required parking?
20.
Oh, no, look back up. It's at the top left corner. 24, based on the calculation that Jeff provided. But that's based on 4 separate units, 3 employees per unit assumed, and then 1 space per employee plus 3 per customer.
Our computer's flipping out, yeah.
I don't know. We're doing it. One behind you is not, so I don't think it's this cable.
It's
I
like a
think it's-
lighted billboard. Oh, did I just say that? All right, can you just, yes, let's just slide that up. So all of these parking spaces that are shown around, not over here, but on 400.
Yeah,
Okay.
it goes across and down.
Yeah.
And it extends all the way to Rhode Island Avenue and then down to
So-
Tucker Street.
So the only ones that you're considering as yours on this property, let's make believe you're not like those that.
Yeah.
You own the building under ABC, whatever. You've got these, which actually slop over the property line, and that's it, correct?
Yeah.
And even these are in question if the property is sold, because it's right on the lot line. So it's kind of an oddball situation. Listen, this is typical of this type of plaza, et cetera, but usually it's all one ownership.
Well, it still is one ownership. Now.
Right, but it can be broken up. I mean, you get situations with, with larger plazas with a restaurant up front on a separate lot. If you run out of parking for the restaurant, they're back in front of, Walmart or whatever else is there. So I guess it's typical. The only risk to you is if the rest of it gets sold off, and you're standing there with your little building, and they say we're going to redevelop everything on this side of Ludlow Street into something else entirely, and you end up with nothing. That's the risk to you.
I understand.
Otherwise, this is fairly typical, and it's usually, most of those places are one.
Usually there are cross easements
Yeah.
that provide
So,
everyone access
You can get cut off.
on pad sites. But you're not buying the property, correct?
Me?
Yeah.
I wish they would let me.
Well, no, I'm just going to advise that if you contemplate buying it,
Include it,
buy
some
it,
sort of
include
easement.
some type of an easement
Right.
for the remaining part. Because how many employees do you have in there now?
I have 4, but I also have a med spa in Rhode Island, and we divvy our time between the two.
But you occupy the whole building right now.
No, I
Oh, you
have
don't?
unit number 2.
So you're only
Oh.
unit number 2.
Yeah,
So who's in the other units?
so unit 3. Well, technically, I also have unit number 1, but it's nothing. It's vacant right now.
Yeah.
And unit 3 is Lycos Properties. They have their plow person sleeps there during the winters.
So this is a pretty unusual circumstance, and we've got a tenant of a portion of a building, and we're trying to nail parking to their feet. It's kind of an oddball situation.
Yeah.
That's why I believe there was a request to waive parking as part of the application.
No, it is now, right?
Yeah, it
Originally
is
wasn't.
to waive, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so really, I mean, the use is not the issue.
Yeah, right.
To waive
It's-
parking.
I don't think anybody's gonna have a problem. It's consistent with what you're doing, but it suddenly becomes tattoo, so I get it. You have to.
But there's
Under
no
mass
additional
law, et
employees,
cetera.
as far as I know, that would be associated with the additional work that they're proposing.
Is it gonna change staffing?
No. In fact, a microblading appointment's about 3 to 4 hours versus the alternative we have now, brow waxing, is 10 minutes. So there'll be a lot less in and out, congestion, etc.
I mean, let's just hope that Lycos doesn't decide to put a restaurant in one of these units.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, my gut right now, I don't have a problem with the waive just because of the situation.
For the use that's before you, I don't see an issue with the waiver of the parking. What potentially could happen here, depending upon, like, I had actually thought that you were in all of the units.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah,
all
the
of the
whole
parking was available to you. So even the 11 spaces that you have,
They're not
suppose he
yours.
fills unit 1, 3, and 4.
Yeah,
And those, whatever he puts in there requires 40 parking spaces.
yeah.
That's-
Well, I have 1 and 2, and I asked them for 3, but they said no because they have it.
But they will not designate beyond that. That's kind of a courtesy to you as the owner of a business.
Yeah.
So you don't have to park, 3 stores down or something like that. Okay, I think this is, in my,
Clear as mud.
in my little brain, it's easy. But you're gonna be so successful, you're gonna pick up and move someplace else and buy a building.
Mhm.
And you won't have to
That's
worry
true.
about it, right? We're gonna live the dream with you right now.
But we will have to worry about the results.
Jimmy, go
that
get your
we-
eyebrows fixed.
Yeah, about time. Huh?
Fixed, yeah, fixed.
You're gonna have to register him with the dog officer. While we're here, any other questions from the board? No. Anybody here in the audience wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? None? I'm gonna get you a free eyebrow job, Jeffrey, on this one.
And a haircut.
It's cruel. Anyway, then it's to us.
Bifurcated.
So we have the use situation and we have the parking. Both special permit.
You can roll it all into one.
We can. Anybody?
Mr. Chairman, with the use as proposed, I find that it will not substantially be more detrimental to the area and that I move that we grant it
The addition of use,
or waiving of the parking.
okay, but we have the use as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the use. Yes.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and second. Discussion, hearing no discussion on the motion. Jim?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Ricky?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Chairman Ferraro, yes. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Number 5. Applicant owner is Dillon Estates on the River LLC, care of attorney Peter A. Salino. Subject property is 637 Durfee Street, map 011, lot 0006. The applicant is seeking a variance to allow the following pursuant to section 86, attachment 1 of the Fall River zoning ordinance to demolish the existing structure and construct a 5-story, 12-unit apartment building, waiving the requirements related to front yard setback, side yard setback, rear yard setback, and lot coverage. The applicant is seeking a special permit to allow the following. 1, pursuant to section 86-445 of the Fall River zoning ordinance, to modify the parking requirements as set forth in 86-441 through 86-444, including A, reducing the number of required off-street parking spaces from 18 to 12, B, eliminating the requirements for 1 loading space, C, allowing parking within 10 feet of the property line. The property is located in a WTOD, waterfront and transit-oriented development, and AOD, Arts Overlay Zoning District.
Good evening. For the record, Peter Salino on behalf of the owner applicant Dillon Estates on the River LLC. Dillon Estates on the River LLC is owned by Manny Sarmento. Mr. Sarmento proposes to demolish the existing 3-family structure that currently hugs Odd Street. It's about 3 feet from the property line as per the plan, and to erect the proposed structure with the intention of creating the 12 units that are in the legal ad. The units are contemplated to be 1 bedroom, and I think that's important to the analysis of this petition. The structure itself is intended to be 5 stories. The proposed parking spaces, as indicated in the petition and the publication, is 12. So in terms of the waivers requested in the proposal, we have waivers for the side yard setback, which again, the existing structure, which contemplated to be raised, is only 3 feet from the property line. We're proposing to hold that. The WTOD requires a 10-foot setback, and as a consequence, there's a waiver requested there. In the rear of the property, which is actually the easterly side of the property, there's this sort of a unique 2-foot jog in the property line. And as a result, that rear or easterly property line is not straight. that requires a waiver as to the rear setback, which is also supposed to be 10 feet in the WTOD. Next, as you come to the front of the property, which would be the northwesterly corner, there's a significant inconsistency between the deeds to the property and what's actually on the ground. Mr. Tallman has investigated it, and I can't find at the registry of deeds, or he can't find here, any kind of a taking. But you'll see a hash line that says parcel boundary by deeds. And so that triangular piece of property appears to have been taken in sometime in the 50s, we think. And that creates the need for that front yard waiver because we can't comply with the 10 feet there. The lot coverage requirement in the district is 80%. The proposal is 82. Obviously, we're trying to provide as much parking as possible, and therefore slightly over that requirement. The district requires 1.5 times parking spaces, and we're at 1-to-1, which again, 12 one-bedroom units, 12 parking places. Additional waivers in the parking realm and the special permit part of the petition relate to having parking within 10 feet of a property line and waiving the need for a loading space. In my petition, I have pled to you that the hardship has to be the shape of this property. The northwesterly corner that appears to have been taken but is not reflected in the deed, the jog on the easterly side, the retaining wall and slope all make this site pretty tough to design. Nevertheless, Mr. Sarmento is hopeful that he can build a beautiful building there that's equipped with an elevator and all the modern amenities close to the train station. So we're happy to answer any questions the board may have relative to the proposal. Jeff is obviously here over my shoulder. He's the engineer on the project. Representatives of the owner are also here to answer any questions the board may have.
I agree it is tough to design for a 12-unit building with a ton of lot coverage. I'm gonna hold my questions right now, and I'm going to turn to my board, and I'm going to turn to my planning director as well. WTOD is already a lessened parking requirement. It's 1.5 as opposed to 2, and we're now trying to chip that down. I understand they're all one bedrooms, but
So the creation of WTOD was based upon, so the housing density for number of units is 100% dictated by the amount of parking that you can provide. So there is no limit to how many units you can construct as long as you can comply with the off-street parking requirement of 1.5 spaces per unit. And again, building setbacks. I mean, this is a lot. I mean, I don't know what you could fit on there by right, but let's just say if you had, what are you showing? 12 parking spaces?
Yes.
12 parking spaces. So that would allow you 8 units by right, if my math is correct?
Yes.
Did anybody contemplate an 8-unit building? And would you need setback relief and lot coverage relief and all of those things? Because there's clearly use of the property that you can be in compliant with WTOD and develop the piece of land. This isn't a vacant piece of land that's got nothing on it. It's got an existing three-family dwelling on it.
Yeah, the only thing I would say to the setback relief, given the, and believe that, done many different parking layouts on this particular property, and 12 seems to be the max number you can get here. In order to get those work, you're trying to position those spots so you're able to maneuver in and out of them. That's what kind of dictates the need for the setback relief. Because just to move that building in.
But that's for a 12-unit building, as the chairman stated. Not if
either,
it was an 8-unit building, you may be able to have just a normal parking lot to the side of the building.
No, still, you wouldn't be able to get the 12. I mean, we're basically utilizing the whole grade level to get the 12 spots. With whatever scenario you want to draw up,
You've got one drive aisle that has no parking off of it, so that's not very efficient.
Well, you have a drive aisle that has 3 parking spots. The other drive aisle has 9.
Correct. Which in normal parking lot, you would have one singular access point and parking off of each. Potentially coming in from Odd Street where you could get a longer driveway and come off of each one of them.
The grade going up Odd Street, it's just a grade issue at that point. And then there's not sufficient width. By the time you go north, there's not sufficient width to provide parking spots on both sides of one main aisle. And the access off of Odd Street, the topography, although not shown on this particular plan, topography going up Odd Street would create an issue, because it does go up pretty substantially. So then to have to make that turn onto Odd Street and drop back down into the site.
Like you said, that information's, I mean, there's a house built there running along Odd Street, so they could apparently build a house. I'm not gonna add anything else.
No, because we're not going to design this. I mean, you close the lot coverage. You're not getting too crazy on the lot coverage, but I just feel like it's too much, and that's just gut right now. And cutting down, waiving. We always say waivers. I hate the fact that we say waivers here in Fall River. They're variances.
Well, they're actually waivers in Fall River.
Waiver. No jujitsu. You're not in Kansas anymore. So we're looking at a density variance. We're looking at setback variances. We're looking at modification of the proximity to lot line for parking spaces. We're jamming the lot. And anybody else can jump in at this point, because I'm not asking questions, because I don't think there's an answer that's going to make me like this. I can't ask a question that's going to get me an answer that I'm going to like, looking at what I'm looking at. Height, great. You can do a five-story building. That's cool. That's easy. Whoever thought that was going to be the easy part?
Yeah, well, zoning allows that.
Anybody else? Either question or opinion at this point in time?
I think it's too much.
And since it is predicated upon parking, I think you got to work backwards. And I can't tell you how, and I can't tell you if that's going to make, a financial decision possible, or, whatever it comes down to do it. And I know that's what it always comes down to. We're in a time of expensive construction materials, contracting, et cetera. I get it. So we try to get the most out of everything, but sometimes I just shake my head, and I'm shaking my head on this one. Going to the general public, is there anyone here wishing to speak in favor of this petition and support? Anybody wishing to speak in opposition?
That's good.
Can I have a brief second to speak to the plan?
Yes.
Thank you.
Is that wind or is that the hallway?
It's the motorcycle.
Jeez.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
The petitioner would like to make a motion to table this petition to the August meeting so that we can look at the design more carefully and be responsive to the board's questions and concerns.
Thank you. Do we have a motion for the table?
Motion to grant the table.
Second.
On the motion to table, Eric,
Yes.
Ricky,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Jim,
No.
and Chairman Prairie, yes. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So, back from all that. Anyways. Looks like we lost connection on the Florida experience a while back. I run this through, get the clips, put that out. We only have a few things left. Anyways, check it out. We'll talk about it. Renderings of what the $1.5 million Northfield Point project next to the Norton city pier will look like. Scheduled to be done in October. Put that out a little bit there. A little bit more walking paths. Northfield Point site. So we're doing everything we can with the waterfront. All these little walking paths, everything. And hey, lights. We're doing lights too. Now, these next 3 clips, I'm just going to compile together because they're all 20 seconds apiece. And these are local businesses and people who have donated to Maze Playground to help make it become a reality. And this is just the recent donations. Check it out. We'll talk about it. We're going to get there, guys. We're going to get there. Everybody donate if you can. I know the economy's tough, but we'll help get your business name out there if you donate. Contact Marcel Riley. And let's help. Now, with that being said, guys, I want to thank everybody for tuning into today's episode. Thank God, that you guys tuned in. Yeah, I needed it. It's a Monday. Not Mondays off. But, guys, thank you for tuning in. Share this out to your newsfeed. Share this to groups. Tag people in the post, tag people in the comment section. Send this out to like-minded individuals in Messenger. If you're an admin or a moderator of a group, share this to your group. It is highly appreciated. Thank you. Now, everybody, I hope you have a good day. Start your week off right. Be good. Do the right thing. Stay out of trouble. Treat each other with love, dignity, respect, and all that. You already know what it is. It's your boy Aaron All-Nighter. Forever, you know, morph this. Peace. All-Nighter. Street magic. Chopped in silence. Kelly Azul on the beat. Need y'all to take a ride with me. I'm just a kid from Fall River, what I know. Riding through my city that they're gentrifying. Market rate housing while there's homeless dying. And I know that they're trying cause this program's out there. But I ain't reaching out there. They ain't reaching out there. Empty storefronts, internet to blame. Gotta move different if nothing is the same. Entertainment venues, bringing nightlife. Transparent police, body cams that's live. Live stream they whole shift. Personal info can censor it. Even though when involving police it becomes public info. But that's a different topic for a different tempo. Back to my city that they're gentrifying. Panhandlers on the Ave and the addicts dying. Parents crying, losing kids. Half my generation that are doing bids. So how are we gonna get to the youth? Teach them right and wrong, when not to shoot. Started young in kindergarten. Mental health class, your brain's a garden. Teach them all about their feelings. The senior year, let's start the healing. Since tech's here to stay, let's teach with VR. Let's build that way. But what do I know? What can I say? I'm just a kid from Fall River. It's just my observations. Chopped in silence. Kelly Azul on the beat. Soul Nighter.